So congratulations on Mafia Mamma. It's wonderful. I also had the opportunity to talk to Monica this morning, and she's absolutely wonderful. So what drew you into a story about like a modern American woman's journey into the mafia underbelly?
Now, isn't that anybody's dream in a way? It sounds pretty good, but I had worked with Toni Collette before on this issue already with Drew Barrymore, and so I love Toni. She's really fun and super creative. When she sent me this script, of course, I'm reading it thinking, I'm just picturing Toni going through this transformation, and then I meet the character Bianca. I had to think instantly of Monica because I guess that's the iconic, Italian femme fatale. I've met her before. I'm like, oh my God, what if she would do it? So by the time I'm reading it, I'm just like, I want to see this movie. I want to play in this sandbox. I want to play with these two women, three women, really. I love her lawyer too, Sophia.
Yeah.
And her lawyer is just so loyal and ride or die, but also encouraging her in a fun way. Be yourself, live yourself, forget your douchey husband, get your feet pounded, So I love all these women and how they kind of work together and, turn into a team by the end.
Well, that's something I've noticed with mafia movies in general. Like, no, oftentimes, these movies are centered on men, directed by men, but the women in the background seem to have such a bond and such a camaraderie with each other. Can you talk about a little bit about making a mafia movie based on matriarchy rather than patriarchy?
Yes, which I love because imagine we always see the men in their sharp suits and they
Yeah.
look great and they're in power. And even the consigliere, we got Robert Duvall and The Godfather. Now we have a woman that is the consigliere. We have Monica, who is, super refined and elegant, but she's tough. I mean, she's been around violence. She is hardcore, but she handles it in a very elegant way. So I love seeing that. And then, of course, she helps transform Toni into this world. So I had never really seen that before.
Yeah.
And in power, that was just so fun for me. Yeah.
Like you mentioned before, you worked with Toni Collette on Miss You Already with Drew Barrymore, and that's such a very different female friendship opposed to both female friendships that you see in Mafia Mamma. What was it like about working with her almost 10 years later?
Well, I guess I was 10 years. Oh my God. Oh, 8 years. I think it's 8 years. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Something like that. I think Toni has even blossomed as an actress. I mean, she's always been pretty flawless. She can do every accent. People are shocked when she starts speaking, Australian because she's perfect at Irish, this, that, every dialect. But she does really become that character. So lately, I feel like I've been seeing her in very serious roles. Whatever in the power, she's the mayor. In a crisis situation, she's been killed in the staircase. And I love the fun side of Toni. So I really wanted to see, especially post-pandemic, I didn't want to see her get murdered. I didn't want to see her a body bag. I wanted her to be able to shine and to blossom and just go on that ride with Toni.
What's it like working with her as a producer? Because this is the first time you've done that, correct?
Yeah, I mean, Toni was very involved in for example, casting. We would get on there and we'd be meeting these incredible Italian actors and, chemistry reads and all that. And of course, she's got the greatest actor instinct. She feels it right away. Who's being truthful, who's going to be able to play. Oh, hi, little dog.
Sorry.
Anyway, anyway, so she has obviously great instincts for that. And, she adds so much positivity to the set too, that keeps from the top down. You have this great attitude, that makes everybody want to work harder.
Monica talked about like the female camaraderie on set, and even though, you know, there's a lot of action and explosions and all of this, that it was very much female driven, obviously with you at the helm. Can you talk a little bit about that from a directing standpoint, not necessarily a story standpoint?
Yes, I mean, I feel like in a way as a director, part of my job is to protect and support the actresses and, you know, honor them too. Even, you know, physically, I get very involved in the costumes. I want them to feel good, look good, feel excited about what they're wearing. And, you know, I like to do the photographs, make sure it's going to read nicely on camera. How can we make it better? You know, I like that, the hair, you know, makeup, the lighting, you know,
Yeah.
you really liked women, like The Godfather is lit. It is from above and like dark. I mean, it would be scary. These are glamorous and beautiful women, and we wanted to honor that. So for me, that's just kind of natural. I don't know if that's normal for God. And some wonderful directors, they don't get that involved in the wardrobe. They show up, okay, done. To me, that's all about building the character and creating the character. And also, I'm thinking about the shoes. I'm like, not letting my actresses run on those cobblestones in an action sequence in
Right.
heels. I'm not having any ankles twisting. You know, we're going to find some comfortable boots for everybody.
I can appreciate that. At this point in your career, you have played in so many different genres, from coming of age with 13 to you recently did a horror episode for Cabinet of Curiosities. Obviously you did drama with Miss You Already, and you directed a couple episodes of This Is Us. Now you're working in the action comedy realm, which is like the first time you've really done comedy. So talk to me about that transition.
Well,
This
even if I go even in the Wayback Machine, when I was a production designer, I got to work on some really crazy comedies, and I had a lot of fun, you know, creating funny things in the deep background, like on I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, a crazy.
Yeah.
I made some outrageous things, you know, in the background, if you go look at that movie. So I love, you know, I have a sense of, I love to make people laugh. I like to make myself laugh, you know, even if nobody else is laughing. But, you know, so for me, this was, I've taken the comedy improv classes and, you know, all that. And so I feel like this was an opportunity to really work with other quite funny actors and give them a chance to kind of shine, encourage them to, you know, bring some ideas. Like you see Eduardo Scarpetta, he's the cousin that gets on that day bed and it's like,
Yeah.
the leopard, you know, get me some girl, you know. Half of that was in the script and half of that he made up, you know. But I like to encourage, or like Sophia, when she goes in the courtroom and she sings What I Did, you know.
Yeah. Was that improv as well?
She improv that, the singing part. I didn't even know she had a great voice like that. I was just like, and she said, I thought you were going to tell me cut. And no, I was like, do it again. So you have these talented people and you give them a chance to like even make it funnier, make it funnier, make it more fun.
Did you find a difference between like American humor and Italian humor at all?
Probably, though, you know, if you think about it, most of the Italians grew up watching American movies. I'm sure crazy that The Godfather, that was an American Italian made that movie, and most of it set in America. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of universal humor. Obviously, anything physical, Tony's body positions, or any kind of wacky slapstick, that's very universal. But I felt like, you know, we had all Italian crew and all Italian cast, except for Toni and Sophia, pretty much the only non-Italians. So everybody was kind of getting into it and laughing. And then you see the Italians like yelling in the background. I just let them go, you know.
You just go
Say
for it.
whatever you want. Yeah.
Is there any genre that you haven't done that you want to do next?
Oh my God, it's okay. I got to do a little sci-fi on a Quibi show called Don't Look Deeper. You know, we had an IA character in it, Don Cheadle, and that was beautiful. But so I do like sci-fi. I like the world building and creating technology that maybe is 5 minutes in the future or 50 minutes in the future. I do think that's fun. Yeah, I mean, I like everything. I'm interested. I watch all kind of movies, and I get excited about, different ways to tell a story.
Well, Catherine, thank you so much for speaking with me. This has been really, really wonderful. You're just so fun to talk to.
You too.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what we're laying down, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell to receive notifications for all of our latest stuff.